This weekend I got a chance to visit the Oregon Woodturning Symposium in Albany. I have never done any turning and I was really not sure what to expect exactly. Well, at first coming here, this huge parking lot was just packed, so I was thinking that woodturning must be really popular around here. But then of course, there happened to be a gun show right next door at the same time, and I guess guns are a bit more popular than woodturning after all. But I always like going to places where everyone has the same interest. You can find lots of people to talk to, and of course see people in action. There's something quite special about seeing someone who has great skill, and who are just really good at what they do. One person who falls into that category is Carl Jacobson, who I'm sure all of you are familiar with. After all, he probably has the biggest YouTube channel in the world about woodturning. Now, isn't that something? It was really nice meeting Carl and his wife, and he was kind enough to give me a short lesson on how to use a lathe. I've never used one before, however, I've become quite intrigued lately, and I have a small lathe on the way. I love the idea of turning, and I really love doing ceramics, and this is not that far off that. I mean, it's very similar principles. Carl gave me some good pointers on how to hold the gouge right, to make sure it's level, how to move it, also how to deal with green wood, and the difference between turning green wood and dry wood. A lot of things that are really just so useful to learn. Because in general, I feel like when you're learning something new, it's really helpful to make sure you have the right technique right from the start, because it really saves you the trouble of later on having to get rid of bad habits and the wrong way of doing things. Also, I was quite surprised to see just how wet the shavings are coming off the lathe, and also the amount of shavings. So that was pretty cool. Another thing that's nice about visiting a place like this is all the different types of wood that you can buy. Of course, when I see this wood, I immediately think mallets, mostly because the shape is really thick, and some of the grain is so cool. I mean, when most of these people here are looking at the wood, I'm sure they're thinking, vases and bowls and candlesticks and, things that you do on the lathe. And some people might think that doing a mallet is kind of like maybe not ideal because the wood is so nice, but I'm really into using what you have and using, nice wood for things like this. Which is why, why I like to do the mallets in general, just to kind of really play with the wood and experiment with it and kind of explore it through that, because it's really something that you use. So that's why I really like doing that. So anyway, I picked up some Oregon plum wood, and I'm planning on making a few mallets with it. So we'll see how that turns out. So anyway, it was just a really fun day. It was great meeting Carl, and it was just nice to get some inspiration in general, and see all these really talented people, doing their work and being gathered in this place and being so friendly and helpful, and just a really nice day. So that was pretty great.